We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for those of us that are joining us in person and also on Zoom here with us as well. We'll get started with 3 student athletes here from Princeton. We are joined by Grace Stone, Julia Cunningham, and Caitlin Shin. For those of you in person, we do have a pass mic that can be given to you to ask questions. And then for Zoom, please use the raised hand function to ask a question as well, and I will call on you. Go ahead and start with questions for the players.
Hello. Wow, that's loud. For each of the 3 student athletes, can you discuss some of your experience playing in the NCAA tournament a year ago and some lessons you took from that experience and how you'll apply it this year?
I think having any experience in the tournament is going to be really helpful for us, especially last year, playing against a really athletic Kentucky team in the first round. I just remember coming in with a really sound game plan, and they came in and threw the first punch, and then, we kind of settled into what we were trying to do, and we were able to execute and end up winning that game. And then in the Indiana game, same thing, just kind of battling it out to the end. I think having that experience in those moments, and, just looking back on our season so far, we've had games where we've had to battle back from deficits at halftime, even going into the fourth quarter. Having those moments and having the experience to lean on is going to be really helpful for this weekend.
I feel like Julia said it pretty well. Just having that experience will be super helpful, and also hopefully not being as nervous, and we'll be more ready for whatever NC State throws at us.
Yeah, I think they said it best. We know what it takes to be here. We know what it takes to win a game here. So I think that going in with that experience, with that confidence is huge, and I think we're all really focused and ready for tomorrow.
Our next question will come from Jen Hatfield, who is joining us via Zoom.
Hi, everybody. Just picking up on that for all 3 of you. How does this week of preparation feel for you all compared to last year? Caitlin, you just mentioned nerves a little bit. Do you guys feel less nervous this time around, or does it feel pretty similar coming in?
It feels pretty similar in the sense that we're really focused and we're ready to log into whatever game plan our coaches come up with. So in that sense, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I think last year nobody really had any faith that we were going to win that Kentucky game, and every prediction was, Kentucky winning, beating Princeton in the first round. And this year, just seeing some of the media where we're actually being picked to win a game, I think is really exciting. And, looking at that, our mentality is always the underdog mentality. That's how we love to play, with a chip on our shoulder. So that's still how we're coming in, and how we're preparing this week. So I think in that sense, it's definitely the same, but it's really nice to see the respect from some of the media as well.
Next question.
You guys have definitely played well at Jadwin Gym, and then you've played away from Jadwin Gym well, and you've dominated in the Ivy League. So how have you guys prepared coming into the double NCAA tournament where you play a tough NC State team? Has anything changed? Is it business as usual?
I think the competition obviously changes a little bit. It's a different style of play going from, the Ivy League to an ACC team. But I think, our game plan is always the same. We win games on our defense, and, we have our principles that we always stick to. And I think that for us, it's really locking in on those types of things. And then offensively, just making sure we're playing to our strengths and not letting anybody speed us up. I think that for us, we're ready to play any type of team in our non-conference. We've played teams from all types of conferences, so I think we're definitely prepared for NC State.
All right, our next question is going back to Jen Hatfield.
For each of you, just individually, is there 1 or 2 things that you guys are focusing on bringing to your team tomorrow night to help the team have their best showing by you guys doing something individually?
Yeah, for me, I think a little bit last year, my focus was just being a calming presence on the court. Obviously, we've now been here last year, and I think having that helps. But at the same time, it's the NCAA tournament. The lights are on, and I think the nerves come with that. So being fifth-year seniors at this point, we're going to lean on our experience and, the moments that we've had on this stage and, make sure that everybody's calm, prepared, and ready to execute the game plan that we have.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
You guys defeated Harvard in the Ivy League championship. How do you carry that momentum here into Salt Lake City? You have a little bit of a break, but how are you going to transfer that game into the Huntsman Center?
I felt like that game was just a showing of like how good we could be if we really like lock in and we focus on what our coaches tell us to do. So I guess just using that and just staying locked in for a full 40 minutes is what we're looking forward to doing.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's gonna be the wrong.
All right, next up we are joined by head coach Carla Berube. If you would like to start with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, sure. Really excited and pleased to be here in Utah and Salt Lake City and playing in the NCAA tournament. You heard from my players. We're thrilled to be back and representing Princeton University. At the moment, we've been checking in on our men's team who's playing right now. Looking forward to the challenge and playing a great NC State Wolfpack team from a really great conference and with a great storied past. We've been working really hard to get to this point and pulled out a tough, gritty win against Harvard to win the Ivy League, and looking forward to the first round here in Salt Lake. So that's where we're at.
Okay. All right, questions? Here, first one will go to Zoom with Isabel Rodriguez.
Well, hi, Coach. Hope the travel went well. I'm just curious for you what it's like to have kind of a gritty finish to the season with that Harvard game and obviously the Penn game as well, how that's prepared you guys for now.
Yeah, I think that we've seen a lot of different teams, a lot of different styles this season. Games where we were ahead by a lot, games where it's been close, games where we've been down and had to claw our way out of it and sort of persevere at the end. So I think we've had to just show our true identity and find out just how resilient we are and gritty and determined. That no matter what the score is, we're going to play really hard and play Tiger basketball. So super happy that we pulled that one out with Harvard, and I think any momentum is great momentum. We've been on a nice little winning streak, and we hope to keep that going.
Next question will come from Jen Hatfield on Zoom.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Jen.
Thinking big picture for tomorrow, in order to win, what are a couple of things that you have to do and a couple of things that you can't do?
I'll start with can't. We can't turn the ball over. We've got to get back in transition. They're really strong in transition, incredible athletes, and they're fast and they're playmakers and score really, really, really well at the rim. They score well inside. We've got to communicate really well with each other. We've just got to be really disciplined defensively. So we've got to take great shots on the offensive end so that defensively, we're back and ready to, execute our defensive game plan. They also, they can shoot the three. They've got a lot of just really, skilled offensive players. But I think they wreak havoc on the defensive end. They're long, they're athletic, they get a lot of deflections. They just get their hands on a lot. So, like I said, we need to take good shots. We need to, take care of the basketball. We need to execute well. We need to run our offense and get great looks. And then defensively, just stick to our principles and then rebound the ball. That's a huge key. Is getting on the offensive boards for one, but also just taking care of the defensive glass.
Question? Yeah.
Coach, like you said, you were here last year, making it to the round of 32. How do you feel like this team is different coming into this new season?
Yeah, I think we've just had a little bit more adversity than we did last year heading into the tournament. The Ivy League last year, we seemed to be, pretty successful throughout this season. We started 0-2 and we've had a lot of close games. So we've, just really shown what we're made of. Late in the season and, there's new faces. We can't rely on Abby Myers like we did last year. She's in a red uniform now. But we've got our people and the three that were up here earlier, they play their roles really, really well. Everybody knows how important they are, all of our players, all 16, and we need to play to our strengths and play together. And that we've done that in the last couple months and late in the Ivy League season. And I think that's why we're here now. We really came together as a team and kept growing, kept working every single day in practice. And, I thought, we've been playing some of our best basketball of the season.
Next question will come from Jen Hatfield.
Carla, I know that you guys aren't the, fastest team in terms of pace, but with, sorry, but with NC State not having, a ton of depth and potentially without Diamond Johnson, is that something that you maybe try to look to exploit, like wear them out, speed things up a little bit, or not so much?
I think we always look to push the ball in transition, but we're going to be who we are. If we can get out in the break and we have numbers, we're certainly going to push it. I don't think we're thinking too much about, who NC State has on the floor, who they don't. I think they go pretty deep. They've got some really great reserves that come off the bench, and we've got a few for ourselves. So, but yeah, we're gonna take our opportunities when they come to us. I think. Caitlin always has the ability to really push it and look for easier opportunities in transition. So we'll do that, but I don't think we're doing something, completely different out of, who we are and who we've been all season.
Next question will go to Isabel Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was just curious, Coach, about some of the younger players and how they've handled some of the pressure so far. I mean, obviously playing in the NCAA tournament is difficult for anybody, but maybe when you're first encountering it, how have they handled it so far?
So far, we're doing well. We're happy to be here. Yeah, I think it's exciting, no matter if it's your first time or it's your fourth time or whatnot. Even for me, it's been a few times in my career, and every time it's really exciting. And there's nervousness and all that, which I think is great, as it should be. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've put our younger players in tough situations, like playing in Gamble Pavilion or playing at Texas. So in front of huge crowds, in front of, under the big lights. And that's why we play a tough, out of conference schedule to get us ready for, March Madness and playing on this stage. So I think they're excited, and I think they'll also be, really ready. As Julia said, like, she's that calming presence. We have that amongst a lot of our returners and our seniors. So I think they'll do a good job of just keeping everybody, on task.
Any other questions for Coach? Okay.
All right, thanks.